So the polls aren't complete yet, but I wanted to share that most of you are saying that you are passive when you're trying to communicate about serious topics with your partner. Now, I have an example today that isn't completely serious, but it's like a really recent example of something that happened where I like caught myself being passive. And before I could fix myself, Rick could read my mind because we've been married that long. So last Thursday, I was gathering things for Leonidas. I think a couple of nights before that, I was gathering items because Maverick had a boomtown, like kind of like a farmer's market at his school where he was selling stuff, but also Leonidas, his class, was going to go around and they could bring money and shop. And so I was going to give him $5 because everything's like super cheap, like quarters, $1, something like that. So I never have cash on me. I'm gonna sound like this is so bad, but I just always use my card, and Rick works right next to a bank and like he always has cash on him. And so I was like, Rick, can you give Leonidas $5? So I asked him this around like probably Tuesday or something like that. And I check and see, and like Leonidas still doesn't have the money. And so I'm going upstairs. This is like Thursday night. I'm going upstairs to go to bed, and Rick is chilling down here on the couch with the boys. And I say to him, I'm on the stairs, and I say to him, hey, handsome, can you grab $5 and give it to Leonidas? And he says, sure. And I just stop at the stairs, and I'm like, and right in that moment, I knew I should have been more assertive, like, hey, can you do it now? And so he says, do you want me to do it now? Before I even able to say it. And I says, yes, please. And then I tell him my why. And this is like so important when we're being assertive. It's important to ask for like when you're wanting this, but also why. So I tell him I have this to-do list in my mind because this is Thursday night. Maverick's doing his boomtown the next day. We gathered all of his things, which we still end up forgetting something, and I had to come home. But anyway, I told him I have this to-do list in my mind. It'd be great if I could like check that off, you know? And so like he did it. It was no big deal. And then in the morning, I just made sure it was like in Leonidas's backpack, ready to go. This does not sound like that big of a deal, but it hit me that it was a moment when I wasn't being specific or assertive enough. And when I stopped and paused, I was pausing to think about how I could be more specific without being a jerk and being like, hey, get up now. You know what I mean? But like, just being like, I could just ask him, can you do it now so that I can check this off of my to-do list, please? Right? Like there's nothing wrong with asking that, but I have to be really conscious of planning that ahead or I will be passive. And so planning ahead what you're going to say is totally fine.